Have you ever stepped into Japan and felt like the whole world just clicks into place differently? It's more than the bustling streets or the food. There's a hidden pattern woven into every building, every garden, every tiny space. A silent code that makes everything feel so unique. And once you see these simple ideas, you'll understand the real power behind Japan's entire world. It's not magic. It's something much deeper. That feeling isn't an accident. It's designed. It all comes down to a few core ideas that are woven into almost everything in Japan, and they have been for centuries. The main one is about simplicity. It's this belief that you don't need a lot of stuff to make something beautiful. In fact, it's often the opposite. Think of a traditional Japanese room. It's not filled with furniture and decorations. There might just be a few high-quality things and a lot of empty space. That empty space is actually the most important part. It gives your eyes a place to rest, and it makes you really appreciate the few things that are there. The whole idea is that less is more. And it's not just about looking clean and simple. It's also about a deep respect for nature and for things that are imperfect and get better with age. A cracked teacup isn't seen as broken. It's seen as having a story. This mindset changes everything. It's why a tiny, simple garden can feel more peaceful than a huge park. And it even affects how people think and what they value. What might look like an overwhelming website to you or me can feel reassuringly detailed to someone in Japan because it gives them all the information they need to make a careful decision. It's a world where new technology has to fit into these old, established traditions. And once you understand these simple rules, you start to see them everywhere. They're the secret code behind why Japan feels so different. So let's break down the first piece of that code. It's a concept called Kanso. At its heart, Kanso just means elegant simplicity. It's an idea that's been part of Japanese tradition for thousands of years, and it's built on one very powerful rule: less is more. But this isn't about just having less stuff. It's about a deeper belief that true luxury isn't about gold and glitter. It's about simplicity itself. Think about a beautifully crafted wooden chair with perfectly clean lines. On the outside, it looks simple, but that simplicity often hides incredibly clever and detailed engineering. The beauty isn't in what you add, but in how perfectly you can strip things down to their truest form. This way of thinking changes how spaces are designed. Rooms often need to be flexible, serving multiple purposes. A living room by day might become a bedroom by night, so the design has to be simple and practical to allow for that. This makes even small homes feel incredibly open, airy, and much larger than they actually are. It's minimalism, but with a purpose, and a huge part of Kanso is its connection to nature. This is a philosophy called Shizen, which is all about finding harmony between people and the natural world. That's why you see so much natural light, sustainable materials like wood and bamboo, and a color palette that feels like it was pulled straight from a forest or a stone garden. It's not just about looking nice. It's about bringing the calm and balance of the outdoors, inside. It's about creating a space that's uncluttered, not just for your eyes, but for your mind. That's the feeling Kanso creates. It's quiet, it's intentional, and it's deeply peaceful. And that sense of calm isn't just about having less stuff. It comes from something much deeper: Zen philosophy. At its core, Zen is all about mindfulness and living intentionally. And that mindset completely shaped Japan's idea of what true beauty is. It's not about showing off with flashy, expensive things. Instead, real luxury is found in the quiet details, the quality of the materials, the perfect finish, and the skill of the person who made it. A perfect example of this is a concept called Ma. You can think of it as the art of empty space. In many cultures, we tend to fill every corner of a room, but in Japanese design, the emptiness is just as important as the objects in it. That negative space gives your eyes and your mind room to breathe. It makes the few things that are there feel incredibly special and important. But maybe the most powerful Zen idea in Japanese design is Wabi-Sabi. This is the belief that there's a deep beauty in things that are imperfect. Think about a handmade ceramic bowl that isn't perfectly round, or an old wooden table that shows every scratch and stain from years of family dinners. Instead of seeing flaws, Wabi-Sabi sees a story. It celebrates the natural life cycle of things, how they change and weather over time. It finds beauty in the rustic and the real, not the polished and the perfect. This isn't about making things look old on purpose. It's about appreciating things exactly as they are. It's a form of mindfulness you can see and touch. And when you put it all together, the simplicity, the empty space, and the love for imperfection, you get more than just a design style. In Japan, nature isn't just something to look at. It's seen as the ultimate architect. the best designer there is. There's even a core belief called Shizen, which is all about finding the perfect harmony between people and the natural world. It's a simple but powerful idea. Instead of fighting nature, you work with it, you listen to it. And this thinking completely shapes how a traditional Japanese home is built. It's designed to be in a constant conversation with the outdoors. You'll see huge windows and sliding doors, not just for the view, but to blur the line between inside and out. They're designed to pull in as much natural light as possible and make you feel connected to the garden, the trees, and the changing seasons. The materials themselves tell the same story. Designers will often use bamboo and light woods like cypress or red pine. According to one expert, they do this to honor the world that they live in. Wood is used everywhere, for walls, frames, and screen grids. It brings a sense of calm and texture into a space. Floors are often simple wood or gray stone tile, and instead of heavy interior walls, you'll find screens made of wood frames and covered in opaque paper. This keeps the space feeling light and open. There's a concept in Japan called shake, which literally means borrowed scenery. The idea is to perfectly frame the view outside, whether it's a garden, a distant mountain, or even just a single tree. The window doesn't just look out onto the landscape. It turns the landscape into a living piece of art for the room. The garden isn't just outside the house. It becomes an extension of the living space itself. It's a way of inviting nature to come inside. Of course, all these massive windows and open spaces bring up a pretty obvious question. What about privacy? This is where one of the most iconic pieces of Japanese design comes in, the Shoji screen. These aren't solid walls. They're light wooden frames covered in a special translucent paper, and they are brilliant. The paper lets sunlight pour through, bathing the room in a soft, diffused glow. This keeps everything feeling bright and airy, but at the same time, you can't really see through it, which gives you all the privacy you need. This whole approach, celebrating raw materials, borrowing scenery, and balancing openness with privacy, creates a home that feels less like a box and more like a gentle shelter. It's a calm, thoughtful way of living that's so powerful. Its influence is now seen in homes and gardens all over the world. In Japan, empty space isn't just empty. It has a job to do. It's called ma, and it's the idea that the space between things is what gives them meaning. Think about it. If you have one beautiful vase in the middle of an empty table, you'll notice every curve. It feels important. But if you have 10 vases cluttered together, you don't really see any of them. The empty space is what allows you to focus. It's a way of turning down the volume on everything else. This isn't about having less just for the sake of it. In fact, one designer put it perfectly. In Japan, the simplest form of something is seen as a kind of luxury. It's a confidence that you don't need a lot of noise to make a statement. And this quietness does something incredible. It lets nature do the talking. When you remove all the clutter, your eye is naturally drawn to the texture of a wooden beam, or the way sunlight filters through a paper screen. The space becomes a calm backdrop that makes the natural elements pop. It's a philosophy they call Shizen, this deep sense of harmony between people and the natural world, often shown by using materials like bamboo and light woods that feel serene and real. But here's a fascinating twist. Research on website design found that while many Westerners prefer a clean, minimalist layout, some Japanese viewers actually find it vague or boring.